All right, so in the previous video, what we did was we created the index file, started the nav, and then we came to a link that didn't work because it didn't have a page to link to. It didn't have the CodePen page to link to. So we went and we created a new HTML file. We saved that new file, copied the code from the index, pasted the code in the new HTML file, and then we realized we didn't have a link between the two, right? So we went back to the index file, put an ahref around the word CodePen, saved it, made it a link so it could actually link to the CodePen page. But then when we got to the CodePen page, the link didn't work on the CodePen page. So we do the same thing on the new page. That's 6 steps, and there's a lot of room for error there. Instead, what you can do is use the index as a template. So it's kind of crazy, but we're going to close this CodePen.html. We're going to right click it over here in the files panel. So over here in the files panel, I'm going to right click it, go to edit, and I'm going to delete it. Or you can hit delete on your keyboard. Yes, we're going to delete it. Just stick with me for a second. So I'm going to delete it. Okay. Your index is essentially a template. It's a template for all of your pages. So right now we've got an ahref to an index page, an ahref to a CodePen page, but that page doesn't exist anymore. If I go to my website and I open it up, and I'm going to go ahead and do that real quick for you. Let's see here. Here's my website. Okay. I just opened up my index. If I click on CodePen, it goes nowhere. Your file cannot be accessed. The file cannot be found or deleted because it can't find CodePen.html. That's fine. Okay. Right now, it's not working, but the link is there. So here's my question to you. With the link there, if I created a file called CodePen.html, would the link automatically start working? That's the question you need to ask yourself. I've created a link to something that doesn't exist, but if I create that page, would the link automatically start working? The answer is yes. Because the computer, anytime you click that link, the computer is looking for the file. If you haven't created the file, it's not going to find it. But if you go and create it and then you click the link again, it's going to find the file because it's a computer. It doesn't care if it's there or not. It's still going to go try and find it every single time you click the link. So you can create links to things even before they exist. It's kind of cool, right? And then thinking that this is exactly a template, I'm going to go down to the footer, and instead of saying this is the footer, I'm going to put a copyright symbol. So I'm going to put ampersand copy semicolon, and I'm going to put Silvius as my last name, and making that be I'll put the year too, which this year is 2021. You can make it whatever you want to be. And actually, usually it goes copyright year, then the name of the company. Okay. And that's something that you can have be on every page. So I'm going to save that. Okay. So let's think about this real quick. I'm looking at my live view. Is my template ready to go? The header image, check. My footer, check. My links, all 3 are links. Home, CodePen, W3 schools. They all go somewhere. Even if that page doesn't exist yet, they all go somewhere. Okay, so let's think about this for just a second. I could go to File. I could go to New. I could create an HTML file. I could copy and paste the text in. I could save it, all those things. Or you can be smarter than your computer. And you can take this index, make sure it's saved. So save should be grayed out. And one of your options under file is to save as. What does save as do? What does that option do? It allows you to save this file as something else, like another file type, a new location, or a new name. So I can take this file and I can I can save it as a new file with a new name of CodePen. I can then click save, and I can go ahead and see that I have a CodePen.html here. If I go to my files here, I can refresh this and see CodePen.html here. Hey, wait a second, didn't you just create a link to that? So now if you go and you test it on your website, refresh that page, does CodePen now work? Yes, it does. All right. And this is important because you just eliminated a ton of steps and a ton of opportunities for error, right? Think if you had like a ton of pages like CNN, oh my gosh, you change one thing, you're screwed. But if you create a template and then utilize it, it's going to go through. So instead of having 6 steps to be able to create a web page, we just used a template, created a file, went file save as, named the new file, and we're done. 3 steps, and the opportunity for error is gone. So what I wanted to show you was that, yeah, you can create a link to something after you've created the file, or you can be smart and reduce the opportunity for error. Create the link before you create the file, and then use your template to then create all the new files later. And that's what you should be doing with your next website and all your future websites to reduce the opportunity for error.